All right, y'all, June 21. It's almost 8:45 in the evening, so we're going to call it a day. We burned up a bunch of yard crap out in the backyard. Braden and Brooklyn and the wife had some friends over of theirs, and they all swam and partied and had a good time this afternoon. We barbecued and all that. So, yeah, we gotta. You see, I'm a little late getting all this up. Friday's video out here about what we did, the adjustments we made to the cart. Of course, Braden's parking lot, little road course parking lot videos going up today as well, right before this one. So we come back and after burning it, getting everything burned up out there, got our wheels cleaned up. We cleaned up the front and rear edge of the beads on these wheels. The rears were in really good shape. These are almost like new. But the fronts are a little beat up. The edge of the paint from mounting these things, probably not on carpet or on something that's, you know, clean and smooth. And a little nicks in them and stuff. So I clean up the edges so when you put the tires on, this bead is really going to pop. It's really going to look nice, and it cleaned it all up. Short of repainting the wheels, which I don't want to do. I just wanted a matching set. So there we go. Tomorrow I'll mount up our tires. We got our fronts here, the rear's under there. We'll get everything mounted up. We went and got new. We had a few of these bead locks, but we went out and bought a whole pile of new ones. They're little button heads, little stainless button heads and O-rings, and so we got enough to do all the wheels. We got brand new flange lug nuts coming with Rich's 4 wheels for his cart. His new Hoosiers are in the house. They came yesterday, so he'll have new wheels and tires. Few issues with his cart yet. That the bolt pattern for the Paul Martin caliper is the same, but we need to put a spacer. We need to just toss a spacer in. Luckily, with that brake setup, I don't believe it's the fluid feeds through it. It's fed into each half. So fingers crossed we can just put a shim in it because it doesn't fit that rotor. That rotor's a little wider than the caliper is made for. So a little work to do there. We're going to ease up on the brake adjustment on Bray's car. He ended up that last run I haven't got it up yet. The second of the 3 videos is going up right now. I adjusted this. I took all the play out of the rear end, you know, so the brakes are right here. I did that because I tuned up the motor and we thought it was going to go faster, and to ease his mind, because he was a little nervous about, you know, not knowing how fast this thing was going to go. So he did okay all day. Every time he stopped, I'd feel the tires and I'd feel the rotor, and nothing. These were good and warm, and this was warm but wasn't hot. And the last ride, I don't know if you can see that, but that rotor's purple. It burned all 3 of my fingertips here. When I touched it when he got out, when he was finished. He must have been riding the brakes. He was, I don't know, not conscious of keeping his foot off the brake pedal when he's running around. Just one of the things, it wasn't a great day. It wasn't a great day yesterday. Cool that he got to turn right and left, and we set up a cool little racetrack, and we really liked the little layout of the racetrack. That was cool. But the engine didn't, there was no extra performance. I was just like a rental cart. Brrr, you know, 1 speed. Once it got up to speed, instead of bouncing off the rev limiter, that was a little better, but really no faster. And then, of course, he liked the more sensitive brakes. But at the end of the day, when he got tired, he wasn't paying attention, and he kind of he overcooked them a little bit. I don't think they're hurt, but he'll be all right, man. He'll be okay. Just long 4 days here, and you know, there's only so much swimming and trampoline bouncing you can do before you get bored. I actually did put them on the lawn tractor. Both of the kids were heavy enough to trigger the seat switch. I had to hold the foot brake down so the engine would start because their legs weren't long enough. But they could actually push the pedal to make it go forward, push the other pedal to make it go backward. They didn't go too far. They just did a little circle around the yard, and then we parked it. I just wanted to share a little of, because I had to cut some grass. We got rained on twice trying to cut grass out here, and they bounced on the trampoline while I cut grass, and they weren't real happy about the idea of I had to spend an hour and a half or 2 hours cutting grass while on their time, you know. But hey, that's part of it out here in the country. You just don't know. When the weather doesn't play its part and do what it's supposed to do, you do what you can do when you can do it. So tomorrow, once we get the wheels mounted and back on here, bolted down, we'll go ahead and saw cut the bottom of this like we told you in the other videos and drop these down. We'll use the MIG welder to spot them in place, and then we'll get everything off and out of the way, and go ahead and weld them up from underneath. Put a little spray paint on them, and it'll know the difference. Then it's on to the Nerf extenders, because they're just not wide enough. You can't get anywhere near enough of it in there to sit. I mean, it's not wide enough right now, and it's, you know, as you can see, not going to work. So we'll get these things sitting flat like they should, and then we'll go ahead and work up the extenders. They don't just slip into the chassis, and the Nerfs don't just slip over top of them. So we're going to have to do a little clearancing, you know what I mean? A little sanding here, sanding there, getting things to slip in and out. Probably be a good idea that they went into the chassis tight, and then, you know, if we can get the Nerfs to slide over top, we'd like to be able to put these on with springs like the modern carts, but we're not going to get too crazy. We've only got 6 weeks until the 26th of August to get this thing. Today's the 21st, so we got, like, you know, 6 weeks, a little less, to get this thing done. Like I said, the only thing that concerns me about getting this done and having it ready for August is the seat. There's the seat up there. It's the biggest NEK seat they make, and it's not just going to drop in here. We can't do anything with this side because where the chain and the gear and the shifting is. So everything's going to need to move over on this side. And you know, it's a shifter cart. We got a radiator going here. We certainly don't want to cut into our side pod to put a radiator on here like you always had to do with the bread box pods. It's kind of hokey and it looks stupid, but I have a bad feeling the radiator we have would probably fit in there right now, but it's not going to fit in there with a big fat jumbo seat. So we may have to get creative. I like the idea of that's right, the horizontal radiator. I can make my own air scoop and all that stuff. And then we'll end up doing some overheating, teething, and all that kind of thing. But I like being different. You know what I mean? Kudos to Paul Nickel, who's on a paddle shifter on his cart now. Same basic thing we got with the 2 small cables. Checked out his little shift mechanism on his engine. Was pretty tricked. We may end up doing that. Maybe not before August, just so we got a cart that'll run, but eventually down the road. I like the paddle shift idea. It's all we've ever done in a laydown cart, so we like that idea. I just wanted to show you what we done. One last thing, we went ahead and cut down those wild cart hubs. We cut a great big old piece of them off, right? And works out fantastic. We're at 47 and a quarter. 47 and a quarter outside of wheel to outside of wheel right now. You put that back on there. Will it go back on? Yeah. So that worked out. So of course these are our CRG rear standard bolt pattern 50 millimeter. These are the 50s for the front with the big hole pattern. We may sell these wheels off because we've got at least 3 sets of Van K CRG pattern front wheels. We've got the black set front and rear, and then I think we have a polished set. Certainly we have 2 sets of fronts polished, and I believe we have a set of rears up there in the Larry box up beyond those 4 sets of tires that are up there. In that box next to the F-125 box, I think is Larry's stuff. So Again, I'm going to be using the OTK wheels off Bray's cart because his gold wheels are here. We got to get the paint for those. We're going to paint these, those, and the Burrell rear wheels, like I said in that other video. So I'll have a set of gold for this cart and a set of black. And there should be black Van K and polished Van K for the Larry cart. Both carts will have 2 sets of tires. And any of this leftover stuff we got, well, these are worth money. These are Swift wheels. So we know Paul uses these. Anybody with a CRG will be using those. So we'll probably, once we get everything done, we'll gather up all this stuff that we have and you know, list it out and start pawning some of this stuff off to keep buying tires and what have you, right? So that's it for update on the 21st. We are moving along, and we'll be hitting this thing tomorrow. We're going to be cutting and welding on this thing tomorrow after we get out here and mount these tires up, and then we'll go to the floor tray. We'll beat it flat. We're going to get up there and get that vinyl down, see if we can cover it with something pretty for now, and get the fuel tank in it, get things bolted, and get our sway bar on. We need to take this off because this nose is going to go on Larry's cart, and the Dynamica nose is going to go on here. We got a little work to do on this bumper. As you can see, there's no upper tube, lower tube. So we're going to have one of those made, and we're going to weld that on ourselves. And you know, it's plugging away. We have a list. Right now it's pretty extensive, but we'll get after it. Pray for us, man. We're gonna need God's favor to get this thing done, man. That's for sure. But we're gonna keep plugging away. Godspeed. God bless y'all. We're praying for you. Love you. Hang in there, guys.